Hey guys, welcome back to another budgeting video. This is going to be for my paycheck from July the 2nd. I cannot believe we are halfway through this year. Like, where does time go? I know people always say that when, like they're old. Like old people say that, oh, time goes by so fast. I don't consider myself that old, and yet I keep being like, seriously, where did this year go? I don't know. Okay, so as always, I'm going to start with the balance. It seems a little lower this time, and I can't figure out why, so I'm going to have to go and check my pay stub and see if something went wrong there. You know, human error. Sometimes it doesn't all actually get paid as it should. I had one paycheck, this was like a year, 2 years ago. I think it was missing 3 days of pay because the manager made a mistake. Oh, that was bad. That was very, very bad. Okay, so the first thing I always take out is part of my rent. There we go. And then I'm gonna do my student loan. I froze my gym account yet again, so I don't have to worry about that payment coming out this month. They only froze it for this month. It'll restart again in August, so I'm gonna have to make a decision about that. It's weird. I think I'm only holding on to the membership for like sentimental reasons, which doesn't make any sense. Who gets sentimental about a gym? I don't know. Even I confuse myself sometimes. So I'm really leaning towards, I'm just gonna have to get rid of it. I'm not going. I have a gym at work that's not great, but it is something. And dragon boating starts up this coming week. Twice weekly practices, although maybe not twice weekly for everybody every time because of the new COVID restrictions that have been put in place, which is fine. I mean, I'll take it, right? Whatever way the club needs us to do it so that we can at least be on the boat at some point, I'll do it. But yeah, so I mean, I have other stuff. And then a friend and I want to do this really big 10-hour hike in fall. So we're doing hiking, like shorter trails and things like that, just to be more used to hiking as the activity, so our body doesn't go into shock a couple hours in when we don't stop. So I've got other things happening. So maybe cancel the gym now and restart it in the winter. Maybe. We'll see. So I did my grocery shopping yesterday after work, even though I wasn't getting paid until today. So it was $43.65. And I put it onto the Visa card just because my bank account was really hurting for how much was left in there. So I'm just paying that back right away. The only reason that I used the Visa card for the groceries was because I knew I was going to pay it back right away. And actually, I mean, like, how many times do you say you're going to do that, but you don't actually do that? Or maybe that's just me. I don't know. I used to do that all the time. Put something on the credit card and swear on payday I was going to pay it all the way off and then not. But I really was like, I'm definitely doing that this time. So it worked out well. Yeah. I'm in the process of having done, I don't know the right terminology for this, the stupidest thing. Absolutely stupidest. I cannot believe that I've done this, and I'll fix it tomorrow, but I had a little bit of a freak out. So I have had my insurance money saved up and ready to go for a while now. I renew my car insurance yearly instead of paying it monthly because you get a little bit of a discount with it. And I was absolutely positively certain that the middle of July, somewhere in the middle of July, is when my car insurance is due for renewal. And, I was just being floating along merrily as we go. Yeah, no, June, you guys. June 17th was when my car insurance renewal was due. So I'm just, apparently driving around uninsured because that's a thing. Oh, I can't believe I did it. Can you believe I did that? I can't believe I did that. I'm in the process of doing that because it's too late in the day now. I can't go and get it done now. Yeah, so I realized that as I was sitting down and working on the budget pre-recording, and being like, oh, I should double check what the date is, because I almost never get to renew it on the actual day. So obviously you do it a couple days or so in advance. And I was, getting ready to look at a calendar and plot out the day when I realized it had passed. So there's that. Now I'm just freaking out. I usually go and get my insurance renewed at this place. It's not that far, but it's not walkable distance. But it's just where I go. But there are places within walkable distance, and now I'm terrified to drive my vehicle, so I will be walking to a random insurance place tomorrow to take care of my car insurance. It's so bad. Okay, food and other. So normally, of course, it's 120, 60. I've already forgotten how much money I normally take out. Whatever 116.35 plus 43.65 is what normally I budget for the food. But obviously, I deducted the money that I spent yesterday from my food and other budget for the rest of the 2 weeks. And I'm budgeting more for gas now because gas prices are in like the 170s. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, oh. So it's really making me consider having to speed up my car saving fund to get a hybrid, because I drive an hour each way to work 5 days a week, and I have an SUV from 2006. So if you're, fuel efficiency is not exactly what it was designed for. And it's hurting. I hate how much I put there, but then I don't want a car payment on top of also having gas payments, but I can't afford a full electric vehicle. And even if I could, I have nowhere to charge it when I'm at home. I rent and there's nowhere to charge it. So I'm looking at hybrids, because then at least they'll use less gas, but they require money to purchase. So I'm kind of just riding it out, hoping the gas prices will go down, even though that I know they won't, and trying to figure out what to do. Somebody suggested just buying something newer, but not the hybrid that I'm wanting, not even necessarily anything that I'm wanting, but just something newer that by default, because it's newer, will be better on gas, and then trading that in a year or so when I go to buy the hybrid, when hopefully the hybrids are maybe a little bit more affordable, because then the vehicle will be newer and worth more in trade-in value. But I don't know. This is not really where I excel in life, Okay, so let me explain. This is a normal Visa payment, not one making up for a purchase that I did yesterday. This is the money going into my sinking funds. I'll break it down and put it into each individual one as always. And this one is an additional Visa payment. So I bought something off of Wish. Well, it was a lot of little somethings that all of a sudden somehow tallied up to quite a larger amount than I was expecting. And I thought that I had my Wish account set to automatically charge to my credit card, but it actually deducted the money from my checking account, which was a slightly unpleasant surprise. So this was a while ago, and then the stuff never arrived. And there's you have to wait a certain length of time before you can declare it as not having arrived, but it hit that time frame, so I declared it not arrived. And I will say, for all that you never know what you're going to get from Wish, if it's going to be legitimate or not, they have a very good return policy. So I contacted them, said the stuff never arrived. They immediately refunded me. The refund went through, obviously, into my bank account. And because I got the refund, I bought a new pair of pants for work. They were kind of a necessity. I'm running low on work appropriate clothing, but regardless, it was an expense I didn't really want to make because they weren't even on sale. But sometimes you need something and you can't wait for the sale. So I decided that I could buy the pants because I knew that refund was going through, and then I could put the refund onto the Visa to pay for the pants. So anyways, in all of that confusion, if any of that makes any sense, the pants went onto the credit card, and with tax and everything, it was like low 50s, like $53 and change, I think, which roughly matched, I think, the refund from which wasn't that big, but it was more than $20. But because my bank account is so low, I don't want to pull all of the money that I'm thinking in my head is in there because of the refund from Wish to put towards it, because I'm already down at $68.06 as extra, and that makes me nervous. It always makes me nervous when it's, I want to say anything under 80, because you just don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. So we will see. So I'm just going to put this as Visa from Wish refund and leave it at that. So yeah, my safety net is $68.06. I want to put a notation somewhere, more just to remind me at the end of the year for tax credits. I did a donation to charity. I know it's a weird amount, $44.50. It was actually $40, but then they give you the option of paying the $4.50 processing, which apparently goes towards your tax refund. I don't really understand how that works. I just know that if you make donations to charity, you get a, what is it called, the tax receipt, and then you submit it when you do your taxes, and somehow that does something. I don't know. I just do it because I'm told to do it. But yeah, so I opted to pay the processing fee because, I mean, you're donating to a charity that obviously you believe in some way. Why would I make them pay it if I can pay it and then have it on my tax receipt? It just doesn't make sense. So yeah, a random amount, but there it is. I haven't been donating to charity as much this year as I did last. I know last year I was very aware of the fact that I was very, very lucky in that I was declared an essential worker, and even though it meant my stress levels were through the roof, having to go out to work every day and be with the seniors and terrified I was going to take something to them and get them sick, at least I had a job. And I mean, admittedly, at the beginning of 2020, I had 3 jobs, and then I lost one right away because the entire industry shut down. And then partway through 2020, I lost the second job because they were just hurting so bad from COVID, they couldn't keep their staff anymore. So now I'm down to 1, and I'm still very grateful for having that job and not having to go completely unemployed for a chunk of 2020 like so many people did. So really last year, anytime something came into my view that was like looking for money, I just thought, you know what, like, money may be tight, but at least I'm bringing something in. And to me, if you have something, you should share it. So I don't know, I'm not very articulate with that. But yeah, so charity. I'm not doing as much this year, and I don't really know why. It's not that I don't think people are still hurting. I really need to get better at that. I shouldn't just wait for ones to cross my path, but I should probably be actively researching and figuring out ones that I really just want to support. Isn't that what people do when you're growing up? You sort of pick a couple charities and just always support them? I don't know. I'm figuring it out. But okay, there is my budget for this week's paycheck. Well, this bi-weekly paycheck, I should say. It's not so bad. I'm going to fill in my sinking funds down here. I promise I'm going tomorrow and renewing my car insurance so that I'm no longer a human who's driving uninsured. I can't believe I did that. It's bonkers that I did that. Have you ever done that? Please tell me that somebody else has done this and I'm not the only one. Okay, now that I've, chatted in your ear all of this time about utter nonsense, I'm going to go. I hope you guys are having a great day. We are just at the tail end of a heat wave over here and pretty grateful that it's done. So have a great day, you guys. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Stay safe out there, and I will talk to you in a couple weeks. Bye.